SummerSlam is dead and buried, but Raw has been born anew once again as we carry on down the highway of wrestling love. Or something. Anyway, my name is Simon from WhatCulture, and you've gone and found your way to Ups and Downs, where we do go through Raw and we give the good bits an up and we give the bad bits a down. So let's do that, because why are we wasting any more time? Let's get on with it. Now, a quick mini aside up for the guy that did bring a sign that said, Simon Miller, give this an up. So I'm giving it an up, because when you see a sign at Raw and it's got your name on it, it's like, wow, that's pretty cool. So thank you, my friend, you get an up. More importantly, Raw started with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar coming out. It was awesome. Paul Heyman cut a great promo. As always, Lesnar stood there like, look at me, I'm a beast and I'm going to kick your ass, because I always kick people's ass. And it was just a very nice start to the show. So it's getting it up. Now, between this and what happened at SummerSlam, it does appear that WWE has gone full-on face with Lesnar. That's a bit strange, because it was also announced that it is going to be Lesnar versus Braun Strowman at No Mercy, and Strowman is a massive babyface as well. When he came out here, the crowd loved him, because of course they did. He's awesome. Then these two got into it, and Braun did get the upper hand over Lesnar, gave him a couple of power slams and left him laying, and I'm really pumped for this main event. Once again, who would have thought that? Do you remember when the rumour was Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar for WrestleMania a couple of years ago? And everyone was like, you can't do that, WWE, that'll be rubbish. Well, they didn't. They took their time, and they've succeeded. Also, I think I'm just ready for a return in WWE for big sweaty men. I know that's terrible. I know it makes me that guy. I'm sorry, but I love it. After all that hoopla had calmed down though, we did learn we were going to get a street fight between Enzo and Big Cass. Now, if you had asked me before this happened, I would have given it a down regardless, but given what did happen in the match, it's just a nothing. Not an up, it's not a down, just a sad situation. Cass did appear to suffer what seemed like a really nasty injury to his knee, and that kind of ended the match, which means, you know, Enzo technically won, but he didn't, because this is when real life just filtered into pro wrestling. It was like, well, we just got to push this to one side. Can't rag on or rave about this, it just sucks that Big Cass got hurt, and I hope it's not too bad, and I hope he can make it back to the ring sooner rather than later. Enzo, though, is as annoying as balls these days. Makes me want to turn off my TV, so he is getting a massive down. And it's another down for everything that happened between Nia Jax, Emma and Dana Brooke. I just don't understand it. Don't understand what the point is. So it's a down. Emma was saying bad things about Nia. Nia overheard. So Emma and Nia had a match, and Nia whooped the crap out of her. Don't we actually need more bodies for the women's division? So why are we just jobbing Emma out and not trying to build her into something? Now, I get it. It's cool that we're making Jax look like a monster week in, week out. That's only going to help things, but maybe we need to think a little bit more long term and not do such short-sighted booking, because you do need wrestlers at the moment. You're taking a wrestler who some people like, and you're just jobbing them out. And that was followed by even more weirdness as R-Truth took on the Drifter, and the Drifter won in like 6 seconds. Wasn't 6 seconds. Now, I really like Elias, as he's now known, and his song, so that's getting it up, especially here, because the raucous crowd did get behind him. But didn't we like tease this as a real feud for a few weeks, and then we just blew it off in 2 minutes? So down. It's good that Elias won, but R-Truth is still somewhat of a veteran. So if you were given this some time and given this some effort, then you could have actually convinced me and the people watching and all the fans that him beating someone like Truth actually means something, whereas here, it meant nothing. Paper means more. Paper that you write on. This basically existed just to fill time on Raw. That was it, to fill time. Maybe I asked too much. Thankfully, the big boys were then let out to play after this, and I tell you, I got a real big kick out of it. It started when Kurt Angle came out and revealed that yes, John Cena is back on Raw, which led to John Cena coming out, and of course the New York fans got on his back and just booed him, and Cena was all like, hey, I'm John Cena. He instantly started running down Roman Reigns, so of course Roman Reigns came out, and I tell you this, if this is the plan for WrestleMania, I'm okay with it, because for better or worse, it does feel like a big deal. I kind of want to see what WWE would do with John Cena and Roman Reigns going at it. It's like the two poster boys that they love. So like you get it from a casual audience perspective because it's just the two biggest stars, and then smart assholes like us can be like, oh, how is it all going to figure out backstage? Obviously you can't give away that too early though, so The Miz and Samoa Joe were inserted into the mix, and a tag team match was planned for the main event. Fair play to Miz too, although he did eventually babyface himself to the crowd because everything he's saying was utterly true. He held his own, and of course Samoa Joe was just great because he's Samoa Joe. But all in all, these four kicked some ass. It's kind of one of those moments where you remember that, yeah, when WWE wants to and they want to try and make people feel like stars, they can. Maybe we should do more of that and make more people stars. The mentioned tag match was really good too, so that's getting up, and I am intrigued to see where we go now. There was the constant tease of friction between Cena and Reigns, and while eventually Cena did get the pin on The Miz to win, where do we go now? What's the direction? What's next? Joe seemed mad at both Reigns and Cena, so maybe he goes after one of them, but maybe Cena inserts himself into the IC title picture, and we get John Cena versus The Miz. I don't know for sure, I'm just spitballing, but it is interesting, say what you will, but having Cena back on Raw is actually going to work wonders because now loads of new doors are open, and I like a new door. And then we had all the 205 Live stuff, and once again, we've just got to condense it down into just one big chunk. We can't give them any proper time, and it was a big down. Firstly, we did have a big 8-man tag match, which nobody cared about because all the fans have been conditioned not to care, and if you do care, a bunch of the faces that appear on that show beat a bunch of the heels, and it meant nothing. But it was also so clear what this was. Get them on TV so we can get them off TV as fast as possible. And then we get another down because while Neville did cut a good promo, eventually Tozawa turned up, and as it transpired, we're getting that match again on 205 later tonight if you're watching this the day it goes up. What is the point? Also, it means that feud has been run into the ground within 7 days, all because of bad booking. Awesome. A huge up for that tag team match between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins and the Hardy Boys though. That was great. That was just a lot of fun. Is enough. It also goes to show that sometimes, yes, all you need to do is have a really good match, be that face versus face or heel versus heel or heel versus face or whatever, and everyone's going to get into it, because that's what's happened here. And even though Matt and Jeff lost, it didn't hurt them at all, because the performances put in were great. Ambrose and Rollins have really made this thing work too. They've gone from being lost in the shuffle on Raw to being one of the things I look forward to seeing the most. Turnaround. I do hope WWE now goes to town on this, but also does turn Ambrose once the magic starts to wear off. But even if they do, right now it's great. I can't complain. There's the 2 thumbs. 1 thumb, 2 thumbs. And decent enough stuff between Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. And while I always use that word while talking about those two, it was decent. So it gets an up. Decent up. But Sasha came out to talk about her title win, and Alexa came out to run down her title win, and it soon transpired that next week we're going to get the rematch on Raw. That was fine. Cool. Dandy. Alright. Whatever. Sasha's promo was a bit weird as she mentioned Boston and people in New York. Apparently they like people in Boston, but whatever. I don't care. And then for reasons I will never understand, Jason Jordan took on Finn Balor because Jason Jordan had asked Daddy Kurt Angle if he could earlier in the night, and he lost. Down. I swear, if this isn't leading to a heel turn, what the hell is all of this about? The fans already don't care about Jason Jordan, and now you're putting him in matches against wrestlers that the fans do care about, and he's losing. What is that going to achieve? Also, Jason Jordan gets no reaction whatsoever. He is deader than jorts. It's such a shame that this has happened given how good the reveal was and how that build went, but here we are. This needs to change, and it needs to change now. You must see that, WWE. I don't know if you watch these videos, but if you do, have a dialogue with me. Let's have a chat, because I don't get what you're thinking. And that was Raw, and I actually thought it was a pretty decent show coming off SummerSlam. We set up some things for No Mercy. John Cena is back, and it feels kind of packed. There were some low points, but there's always some low points. But overall, for a 3-hour show, it was pretty good. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's Raw. Like, share, and subscribe. Head on over to WhatCulture.com and read stuff about Raw. Then follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. I'm Simon from WhatCulture, and my big news for today is tomorrow I'm going to be doing SmackDown ups and downs as well, because Jack is on tour with WCPW. So you can look forward to this face when I'm talking about SmackDown. Maybe Bobby Roode's going to be there. Maybe Corbin's going to get jobbed out again. It means I get to rant and rave about Rusev. Look forward to that.